Now that we have our areas defined, we want to add in fixtures. Now, fixtures are movable elements that you can use for either assigning tables to an event, so they can do table planning, so who's sitting at which table. Also, these are used for what can be applied to layouts. So these are the movable fixtures that can be applied to layouts. Now, if you're not going to use layouts, that's completely fine. We just need to get the tables in. So we have the correct tables in place so you can use it for seat planning. If you're not using seat planning either, then you could pretty much skip over this step. So when we're putting in fixtures, we have some examples that are already preset. So anytime you see things in Sunnis where it says example, that means that's information that's been pre-populated into Sunnis. We can either edit what's here or we can delete it and add something new. So when you're adding fixtures, if you are not going to be doing the layouts, you simply want to know what tables are available, what the capacity is, so you can do seat assignments. Then we simply are going to put them in. You want to define the areas where they're allowed. So this is why we want to do this after we name the areas. You can make it staff only, meaning only staff users can apply it to an event. But let's start at the top here. So you'll have the name, table type, table chair or other, seating capacity, quantity, description, allowed areas, staff only, yes or no, and assign number to the fixtures. So this is a regular table numbers, or regular rectangle table, excuse me. So I'm going to say yes to table numbers. Now in some situations where specifically a wedding would use a top table, you do not want the table number applied to the top table because the top table is the top table. It's not 1, 2, 3. In which case you want to put in top table, rectangle, numbers off. So you might have top table in with 1 as a quantity, and then you'll have your regular rectangle table in with 9 as a quantity. Okay, so you'll have top tables without numbers turned on, regular tables with numbers turned on. Now, if you're utilizing these for layouts, we need to provide the measurements so Sunnis knows its size to use for those layouts. So we're going to turn on set fixture area for layouts. The type, either circle or rectangle, can overlap. I'm going to say no because this is a table, can overlap each other, but something like staging, you could have overlap. Width and depth in millimeters. So this is a 3x1. So it's going to be 3,000 meters wide, and the depth is 1,000 millimeters. Now you can optionally put in a shape buffer. This is saved space around the table, which is really holding space for chairs, so you don't have to individually place each chair, and also giving you distance between the tables for your service staff. So if you want a meter, or let's say 2 meters between each table, so that gives your layout room for chairs and for service staff, then you want your shape buffer to be 1,000 millimeters. So the table is 1,000 millimeters by 3,000, and then there'll be additional 1,000 millimeter buffer around the table. It's in a different color so you can see it very easily on the layouts. This buffer is optional, like mentioned, and then hit save. Now, this is a rectangle table, 3x1. You may allow these to be butted up to each other and make a long table. So maybe you allow 2 3-meter tables to come together and create a 6-meter table, or even 3 and have a 9-meter table for banqueting style. In which case, put in each table configuration. Because if you leave it like this and you put them together in the floor plan, you're going to have table 1, table 2, table 3. Sunnis won't combine the 3 tables together and just add the 1 table number. So if we change this to be, rectangle table times 2, so seating capacity doubles, the quantity goes in half, and we make this 6x1, Now we have the long table, and then put in your extra long tables. Of course, you're not going to just be editing the existing one. You're going to save, go back to your fixtures, add new, add in your double, add in your triple. Okay, so your configurations. Now a note on the round tables. The round tables, if you have a round table, top table, add that in, turning numbers off. When you're utilizing the fixture areas for round tables, I'm going to do the circle, overlap, no. It's the radius. And so that's half the diameter. So this is a 2-meter diameter, so the radius is 1 meter or 1,000 millimeters. Okay, and then you'll have the shape buffer, which I'll put at 750. So that fixture's in. Now, other fixtures you may want to include. Cake table, dance floor, it's movable, staging, sweet cart, gift tables, buffet tables, anything that's movable that you want to place within different layouts. You can also do ceremony layouts, in which case you will need chairs. And maybe you have benches, pews, different seating options. For ceremonies, you also want to include the registers table. So anything that you want to apply. Now, as you're moving through this section, or through time, I should say, you might retire something. So your round tables get retired because they're just, for whatever reason. You can deactivate fixtures. So we can go to Actions, Delete. It's a soft delete. So it will become inactive or deleted here. It will still be applied to events where it's been used, but you won't be able to apply it moving forward. Or you can come back and go, we really don't want people, we want to encourage rectangle tables. We don't want people picking rounds. You can make that staff only. And so the round tables would only be available on request. So there's different ways to manage that. This will be your full library. Again, being really clear about if it's a table or a top tables with numbers turned off, assuming you don't do numbers there, regular tables with table numbers turned on. Adding in the shapes and sizing for layouts if you're going to be utilizing that functionality. So build this out. It's a great opportunity to take inventory of what you have on site and do some quality checks and get that inventory built out in Sonnet.